going on, Jerome's? So we usually don't do the Vikings news up on Sunday before a game, but there's a couple of tidbits from this week that I didn't get to that I wanted to talk about. Number one, so Kirk Cousins returns to the friendly confines, and I know, like, Kurt took the money and ran, took the money here, and just never got over the hump. He's supposed to be the missing piece from that 2017 team. One wild card game down in New Orleans, which is great. Threw short of the sticks, 4th and 8 against the Giants. Although respect, Kurt did play a great game. That was the Donishell defense against Daniel Jones, 431 and 31 points, right? But will he be booed on Sunday? So we put it out to you, the Jeromes, 5,200 Jeromes voted. 57% say nah, 43% say yeah. Now, it would be way different if the Vikings were just in an abyss right now. If the Vikings were 2-10 instead of 10-2, and quarterback play was terrible, then maybe, sure. But I think that this worked out for both sides. Where Kurt, got himself another payday from the Falcons. Well, it worked out for everyone except for the Falcons. Falcons fans are just pissed right now, man. But so it worked out for the Vikings because they're taking their dead cap hits this year. They signed Darnold for $10 million. He's playing balls to the wall, fantastic. You got J.J. McCarthy as your quarterback of the future, and like we said, Cousins got paid, and that's what matters to him. So I hope we don't boo him. I mean, I don't know. Like I feel like Vikings fans are a little bit more understanding than other fans, and it's not like, basically it just was a business decision. The Vikings wanted him back at a certain price, Cousins wanted a certain price, and he got it with the Falcons, so no muss, no fuss, right? So it certainly happens. So hopefully the Vikings faithful don't boo Kirk, or maybe a little booing. Just a little. Or definitely cheering whenever there's a sack, whenever there's an interception, whenever there's lots of things, man. Also, something you should be cheering is the annual holiday fundraiser. Every dollar donated to the show, month of December, will go to Salvation Army Twin Cities, as well as Toys for Tots. So all super chats during halftime, post-game live streams, Venmos, Cash Apps will be donated to those worthy causes. Also, direct donation links in the description. We have a Jerome who wrote in. He's donating $500 to Salvation Army. He emailed producer Allie. That's awesome. It's fantastic. Just 'tis the season. Paying it forward. Love doing this time of year. Also, something I love, but also a little bit bummed. Well, it's melancholy, right? So Andrew DePaula, Will Rackard are back. They're ready to rock and roll, back at full strength. Oh, also, Gabriel Murphy elevated to the active rooster for tomorrow's game. It's going to be awesome, man. I love it, man. But also, that could be a bad sign for the health of Andrew Van Ginkel and Patrick Jones II, who are both listed as questionable for the game. So, don't know. But even though Reichard is back, will the throw coming? I love it. It does mean that John Parker Romo has been waived. And Romo did fantastic in the 4 games that Reichard was on IR. He only missed 1 kick, missed 1 PAT, but put up 40 points over 4 games, scored all the points against Jacksonville in his first NFL career game. And, JPR, we took this from Reddit. He was fantastic. And I hope that he gets a job Monday. I hope that he is claimed. I hope that he's on a roster. I hope that he's kicking for an NFL team next Sunday, because he's proven that he deserves to be in this league. Like, he belongs. Like, he's just been fantastic. Also, how do you like it where the Vikings have had such piss poor kicking history, and then they find 2 good ones in 1 year? But major props to Romo. Also, major props to Jake McQuaid, who filled in for DePaula long snapping. Everything was seamless, and injuries to your kicker and long snapper really could torpedo some seasons, but the Vikings were rather seamless. So it's amazing what those two did. It's really good what Ryan Wright did, working with them in concert so quickly. It's really awesome, man. Also awesome. So, yeah, Justin friggin' Jefferson broke all of these myriad of receiving records and got paid through the first 4 years of his career, mainly working with Kirk Cousins, right? Jefferson wasn't throwing himself the ball. And Jefferson has been profuse in his praise and respect for Kirk Cousins when he was here, after he left and everything. Of course, all the questions came in this week, and Jefferson says that he respects Kirk. They haven't really kept it in touch much, but there's a bluntness where everything is sort of worked out the way it worked out. So Jefferson, when asked about facing Kurt, we have a new quarterback that we're confident in, somebody that's a leader. It worked out both ways, and it really did. I mean, the Vikings are pretty happy with slinging Sam Darnold. You got J.J. McCarthy waiting in the wings, and Kirk got paid. So it worked out for everyone involved. And also Jefferson is second in the league in receiving yards, even though he's being mugged and doubled and tripled every single damn play. All right, so he and Darnold are clearly on the same page, and it's going to be good. Also, things to watch for. This is from the Vikings Mother account. With at least one takeaway versus Atlanta, Minnesota would record a takeaway in each of his first 13 games started the season for the first time since 2001. Bring it. Also, since Kurt threw 4 picks against the Chargers last week, I think we're going to get our mitts on a meatball or two. It's going to be good. With his next 100-plus passer rating game, quarterback Sam Darnold will set the franchise record for most games with 100-plus passer rating in a season in Vikings history. I feel like that's not even being talked about enough because passer rating is a perfect no, but it is a solid approximation in terms of completion percentage, yards, touchdown interception ratio, and Darnold has been fantastic. I mean, where is it? Yeah, there it is. 33rd team. Quarterbacks with passer rating of 100 in double-digit games this season. Lamar Jackson, 10. Sling and Sam Darnold, 10. End of list. It's really good, man. Wide receiver Justin Jefferson needs 63 receiving yards to reach 7,000 for his career. He'll be the first player in NFL history to reach the mark in his first 5 seasons and the first player under the age of 26 to achieve that feat. No big deal. Like, Jefferson breaks all of these random, like they sound made up records. 7,000 yards, but he's the first to get there. With his next interception, cornerback Byron Murphy Jr. would be the first Vikings cornerback to reach at least 6 interceptions in a season since Jimmy Hitchcock in 1998. Love me some Jimmy Hitchcock, former Patriot as well. He had 7 picks back in 1998. Murph with 5 currently is tied for first amongst cornerbacks. So bring it on, man. Yeah, Murph also should get some Pro Bowl love, maybe even some All-Pro love. We'll see. Also, some we'll see. So when the Vikings moved on from Kirk Cousins, apparently they checked things out with Stafford. Now, this does not. Anyways, so this is from Dan Rossini of The Athletic. When the legal tampering period opened, the Falcons swooped in with a 4-year, $180 million deal with $100 million guaranteed. It was the kind of contract that said, you're our guy. As for the Vikings, they didn't budge when it came to that kind of guaranteed money. So the Vikings, they would have had Kurt back at a certain price point, but the Falcons just came in and tampered with themselves. Minnesota weighed other options. It had monitored Matthew Stafford's difficult contract negotiation with the Rams. O'Connell was Stafford's offensive coordinator during Super Bowl season in L.A., but Sam Darnold emerged as their first choice. One day after Cousins left for the Falcons, Minnesota agreed to a 1-year deal with Darnold. So, obviously, yeah, as a GM, like, you have to kick the tires on everything, and I'm sure that Kevin O'Connell wouldn't have minded a situation where if the Vikings would have traded for Stafford, probably something nominal, since given Stafford's age as well as his contract, and then rolled with Stafford and rookie quarterback TBD. But I mean, Darnold for $10 million, I mean, you can't sneeze at that. It certainly did work out. So even though always had a ton of respect for Matthew Stafford. And no, this does not lend credence to that stupid Florio trade deadline idea. Well, Darnold's not doing well, so just trade for... No. None of that. But a full offseason, full training camp, full season with Stafford, with J.J. McCarthy waiting in the wings. I mean, I'm sure it would have been fine. But also, Darnold... Don't want to say Darnold has exceeded expectations, because as the number 3 overall pick, this is what you expected from him eventually in his career once he found the right spot, which is really good. Also really good, speaking of slinging Sammy Darnold, highest graded quarterbacks versus the blitz this season. Sam Darnold is 3rd in the league at 83.5, ahead of Josh Allen and Joe Burrow. Perhaps you've heard of them, right? And behind Lamar Jackson and Justin Herbert. So even though Darnold, he has this reputation, it's like, well, he sees ghosts, blah, blah, blah. And the Vikings offensive line, let's face it, has had issues at times, right? But Darnold, his mobility, his pocket awareness, it's a little bit frustrating sometimes because he does hang on to the ball a little bit too long. So some of this is self-induced, but when they bring that extra blitzer, he's processing things. He understands where it's coming from. He knows where the dead spots are, and the communication with him and the receivers, like they're on the same page. So it's really, really amazing. Also, the fact that all 4 of these guys have been with their respective teams for multiple years, working with the weapons and overall most of the coaches. I mean, Darnold coming in cold, brand new, out of nowhere. I mean, that does really mean a lot. Also mean a lot. Blake Cashman outside, how about that? The pride of Eden Prairie, former Minnesota Golden Gopher. He's back home and he's loving it. Quote, he was on K-Fan talking about this. Quote, I love this team. This is probably the most fun I've had playing football since I was just down the road playing at Eden Prairie High School. Cashman couldn't be happier with his decision to join the Vikings this offseason. And couldn't be happier that Cashman is here, man. Just his leadership, the green dot, his coverage ability, his run fills, his blitzing ability as well. Like, he's great, right? And it's a really fun homegrown Minnesota sports story. Cashman at Eden Prairie, walk on with the Gophers, became a starter and a captain. NFL draft pick, 5th round to the Jets, adding another chapter to the dumbest rivalry in sports history. It's really good. Also really good. So I'm going to tell my kids that this is Jay and Silent Bob, although that doesn't make any sense at all. But Andrew Van Ginkel and Jonathan Grenard, so Grenard is 1, Van Ginkel is 2 in the NFC for sacks. Did you know that? That's pretty damn amazing, man. All right. And the change on the edge has been pronounced, and overall, like, I'll love Danielle Hunter forever, but getting Grenard and Van Ginkel for roughly the same price, you're really good to go, man. And also, Grenard is getting some love. He leads the league in pressures. He's got 9 sacks. He's getting after things. 33rd team, 2024 first team All-Pro predictions on defense. So you got Grenard at DN. So these are always imperfect because Grenard, I mean, he does put his hand in the dirt at times, but he's not really a traditional DN. He is more of an outside linebacker. And also, how do you classify Van Ginkel? Is he a DN on the edge? Is he an outside linebacker? And the linebackers listed, Bond, Warner, and Roquan, they're all off balls, but I mean, that doesn't match up either. So I don't know. But either way, like, Andrew Van Ginkel definitely snubbed from this list. 2 pick sixes, as well as he's 3rd in the league in tackles for loss. Plus, he's got 9 sacks. Let's go. Yeah. Oh, no, Grenard has 10 sacks. Doesn't matter. Numbers don't matter. Lastly, hey, Teddy. So Teddy Bridgewater retired from the NFL. He's the Lions' backup last year. Took over as head coach at his alma mater, Miami Northwestern High School. Played in the state championship. And they've been obliterating teams in the playoffs, man. So they're going to play in the Florida State Championship in Teddy's first year as head coach. The Bulls will face Reigns in the 3A State Championship. I'm happy for Teddy, man. And they won the last game 40-0. Who knew that it was Zimmer and Norv who kept Teddy from putting up points? Just kind of crazy, man. But Teddy did mention that once the high school football season is over, that he may return to the NFL as a backup. Like, teams have been blowing up his phone trying to get him. I don't know. Does that mean that the Lions are going to try and pick him up? Maybe they don't trust a hooker. Don't know, man. But really super happy for Teddy. Go Northwestern. Go Bulls. That's right, baby. It's good times, man. That's it. Vikings Sunday news dump. You guys are the best. You absolutely know what to do. Put a little something in the Venmo. Until next time, Skull Production Value.